Zdar sílu přátelé, tedy další díl podcastu Fight, tentokrát rozhovor s Willem Fleurym. Will, how are you?
Good. Well, I've been better, but you know.
And I don't mean it as like a traditional phrase like how are you, but I mean it honestly, like how are you few days after a fight? We are filming it Wednesday after Saturday's fight.
Yeah. Look, it's been a rough few days, I can't lie. But this is sport, this is what you signed up for. I think this time, because it was both me and Lucy and neither fight went to plan, that there's an extra sadness to the whole thing. But guys, this is the life we signed up for, and you take responsibility, you get better, you move on. And I'm very lucky in a way. I'm healthy. Lucia has a broken hand, obviously, which is tougher for her, and I think it's less obvious what's next for her, which is also kind of a shit situation for her. But for me, it's okay, let's get back on the wagon, get the rematch, win your belt back, and get the triple champ status back, you know.
How many times have you seen the fight yet?
Quite a few, yeah. I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but I've watched it maybe 15, 20 times.
15, 20 times?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Is there any moment where that's the moment where I lost?
Obviously the overhand he landed, and me kind of half throwing that left hand. I don't understand why I stopped. Obviously my brain felt something in that moment, and I didn't fully extend on that. I think if I did, it would have put him off balance and that shot wouldn't have landed. But that's the moment that happened. Right, okay, what can we learn from that? How do I get better? How do I move on? Don't let that shit happen the next time, and then come back and whoop his ass. You can torture yourself with things like this, but what benefit is there from it? And watching it, there's a couple of times, even in the first round, that I kind of half extend that left hand. And obviously my brain felt something in that moment to not overcommit, but I don't know what it was. I don't remember consciously what my brain was thinking at that point. And the one thing that I can consciously regret is in the corner, both my corners, Owen and Arius, were telling me, stay tight, be careful at the start of this round. And all the time I was thinking, he's done. I felt him at the end of the round. He was basically out. So just go in and finish him. Obviously, they were right. I was wrong. So
how do you deal with such a regret? You said that not torturing yourself. Do you think it in time, after some weeks of relaxation, do you feel it can give you more fuel?
Of course, yeah. Look, the pain of this thing is what's going to drive you to get better. And it's just you have to live with it, unfortunately. And that's a lot of things. But I'm really lucky in the fact that I get a chance to change this. You know, sometimes when we lose things in life, they don't come back. Okay, I'll never get that fight back. That will always be the way that happened. That sucks. But can I go and get better and improve it and go back and whoop his ass? Yeah. So, hey, this isn't so bad.
You feel like it's even worse because of you rocked him before, or the pain is lesser because of that?
I don't know. I don't think like that, honestly. It just happened the way it did. And I don't think about, oh, well, if I didn't rock him, I'd feel worse. Or it doesn't matter, does it? It did happen that way. Okay, why did it happen that way? All right, figure it out. See what you can improve on. Come back, do it a different way next time.
And apart from not being tight, not throwing that full extension on the left hand, what surprised you?
He was pretty easy to take down. The one time that I went for this, and he kind of fell over the time we collided. I think I landed a shot to the side of his neck a little bit there. But it wasn't I didn't drop him at that point early in the first round, when we went to the floor the first time. But his hips were very flexible, but he didn't really try too hard to get up. You could see he was trying to get feet on the hip, land up kicks, punch from the bottom. But it was relatively easy to keep him on the ground. And you could feel in a way that he was trying to exert a lot of damage, but not really aware of position sometimes. So that surprised me a little bit. And even for a guy who's like a very good wrestler in some of his other fights, he had an opportunity to get up. Now, I know it's a weird situation because the referee thought for a second that I'd need him in the face, and then like I hadn't touched him with it. And we both kind of stopped to be like, okay, the referee's going to separate us. And he didn't. He was like, okay, you're good, play on from this situation. But even there, I just swept his knee pretty easily. That surprised me. But like, honestly, like...
Well, on the other hand, he told us, everyone, on the press conference that he wanted you to work, to make you tired. And he heard you breathing. Or do you believe that? Or like, do you think it's smart plan?
Like, look, like, if that was his plan... why did he try his best to go crazy at the end of the first round? Look at the last 10 seconds of that first round. He's desperately trying to win the round back because he's aware that he's lost the round. So that's a guy trying to not use energy? I don't think so. And he said, oh, I'm going to wait till the third round to go. It's like, okay, mate, you're going to fight like a guy who's fought twice in 6 weeks now, who's unbelievably well conditioned, who's also lost a lot of weight from used to carrying around a heavyweight frame. And your plan is to make that guy go 3 rounds before you start to exert pressure. I hope that's your game plan, because if it is, see how it is when you get me 3 rounds deep. But like, I think like this thing of like, I didn't drop him and all this, he's telling a story at this. And look, Max, like he's fucking, the way he dealt with all of this, the way he came in on 12 days notice, you know, the way he behaved throughout the fight, got to take my hat off to the guy. He acted like a fucking boss. Took a fight, up a weight class, 12 days notice. Deserves all the fucking credit in the world. But some of the story he's been telling, it's a story. It's not the truth.
Then if you say it's kind of a story, what's the reality? And how do you think this like story, or your part of the story, your view on the story, will continue? Because you already mentioned it, like you won't rematch, you were planning on rematch. But is it certain you will get it?
Well, look, like, everybody saw what happened. People have eyes. That's the thing. Like, so he can say, oh, I slipped at the end of the first round or whatever he said. It's like, man, people can see your eyes rolling in the back of your head as you're falling. You know, anybody who's watched this fight can see you're 5 seconds away from being finished at the end of the first round. So you can say, oh, I slipped, but it's like, people see what happened, mate. You know, I think everybody wants a rematch. You know, now if he doesn't, like he said at the press conference, he'll do it. Great. Now I'm hearing that he won't. So
you're hearing it from who?
From Andre. Now he said he wants the heavyweight title fight. It's like, well, no, that doesn't win me back my light heavyweight belt. And well done, you came in, you took this fight 12 days notice, you got a great contract out of it, you did all that stuff. But you said at that press conference that if Andre was up for it, you go again. Andre's up for it. He's the one saying, oh, I want to do heavyweight, not light heavyweight. So.
And is it more important to get this title back in light heavyweight or get the win over Muradov?
Both are really important to me right now. It's not like one more than the other, but like...
And if the situation is like, you will either go to heavyweight and defend the heavyweight title against Mach, or there's no rematch, will you take it?
I don't think he's earned a heavyweight title shot. Like, look, the way this fight went, there's enough to say this, like, genuinely, 2 seconds more in the first round, fight could be done. Like, what he did by coming back is incredible. Well done. Amazing. You should highlight that. Like, as in, look, I was out on my feet and I came back and I won the fight early in the second round. Incredible. Like, I take my hat off to the guy. You know, beautiful performance. Well done. But to say like, oh, this wasn't close and, you know, oh, it was like I definitively won this and now I deserve a shot at the heavyweight. No, you fucking didn't. That's not true. So, let's have this match again. Everyone wants to see this match. There'll be an amazing build-up. There'll be amazing hype behind it. You can solidify yourself as a light heavyweight champion if you're so confident that you can come in and whoop my ass again. Great. Put it on the line. Show me. I put it all on the line for you. Now you put it all on the line for me. Now I'm the one coming.
When you look back, what was before the fight, how was it coming against such a man when you were expected to be such a big favorite on the Stvanica card against Daniel Škvar, and now you are going to someone who is on the paper evenly matched with you. So did it change something?
Well, yeah, tactically it changed a lot. Like,
But maybe mentally, like.
of course, yeah. Look, like, but what do you want to do? Do you want to be the guy who doesn't take challenges like that? And no matter what, I'm proud of the fact that, like, I went for it. I really did feel like, oh, I'm going to whoop his ass, and I was very close to whooping his ass. So, like, I would rather be that guy than anybody else. I'm proud of the fact that I'm that guy. And I'm very confident of the fact that I can go back and whoop his ass and be the guy again, you know? And look, like, in a way, this one hurts so much because it's been quite a while since I've felt this thing. You know, it's 6 years, over 6 years since I lost. I've won 11 fights in a row since then. I've won 3 titles in different weight classes since then. It's been an incredible run. But if you go and put yourself in the biggest challenges time after time after time, well, look, sometimes it's going to be like, okay, that didn't go quite exactly how you planned. And like, there's other fights that didn't go exactly how I planned that I won. This one was like, well, the referee stopped it. It's like, hey, fuck. I understand why the referee stopped it, but I genuinely felt like I'm actually okay here. I'm safe right now. If he's going to hit me again, if he's going to do any major damage, he has about 10 seconds of work to do before he can do that. I'm conscious enough and well aware, like, I know exactly where I was in that situation. I had the underhook on the wrong side. I know I have to get to my knees really quickly now. You know, then there's a scramble based off of that. That, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it is like, well, look, I put myself in that position in the first place by getting caught. I can't blame the referee for that. I'm not here to sit, like, to moan or to complain about, you know, why did it get stopped? It's like, you got hit, that's why it got stopped. But there's enough question marks around that to me to be like, well, Mac, come in and do it clean this time. You want to prove you're the man? Prove you're the fucking man. Step up to the plate. I did it for you. Now you do it for me.
Great, John. Then I heard the coach, the mastermind of all jiu-jitsu. Once time, in 8 years back, he said that it's really hard to win a world title. He said it by like the UFC, but anyway, like, it's hard to win a title, but it's way harder to keep up the title, because now when you are champion, everybody is studying you, everybody is looking at you. You have this like championship responsibility. After some fights, this like eagerness, the hungriness is maybe going a little away, and you have to feel it from another things. Do you feel the same that after, I think, 5 or 4 one title fights in octagon, and after those 6 years or those 11 fights, do you feel like it's changed mentality when you look those 6 and something years back?
I think you could make excuses like that. I think people can say, oh, my ambition wasn't what it should have been. Well, why wasn't it? That's on you. That's your problem. Like, if you're going to be a champion, behave like a champion. I could say, oh, the 2 fights in 6 weeks, I became a little bit complacent. I became a little bit like my body was... No, man. I want this. I really want this. Like, you give me these opportunities, and I've waited so long to get these chances. So I trained as hard as I could to be as good as I could be. Obviously, the opponent changed last minute. I adjusted as best I could. I went in there and I very, very nearly got it done. To me, to say like, oh, the belt, all the responsibility, it's too much. No, felt great. I loved it. I want it back. I'm not this guy who's like, oh, it's so hard to keep the belt. No, trust me. It's beautiful to have these challenges. It's beautiful to have something that can like bring you to that place where you need to be the fucking man. Because now it's time to prove you're the fucking man. And I was really intent on proving, yeah, fuck you, I'm the man. This is like an amazing opportunity for me to show the level I'm at. And it was. And I damn near did it, but I didn't. So look, Max the man. There you go. Boom. Give me a shot to be the man. That's where I'm at now, like, you know.
And do you think if that fight happens, you'll be the hungriest you have ever been?
Yeah, I've always been very hungry, man. I think I will have had time to make the technical adjustments that I need to make and to go in and perform in that smooth way that I did against the likes of Aris and like Samudai, where it was just like clinical. Mac is definitely a trickier puzzle to solve. He's definitely got like he's quick. Even in there, I was like, yep, he's quick. You know, you can see he caught me like once about a minute into the first round when we broke off, and it was a good shot. It was a fast shot. Like he got his feet back underneath him quickly and landed a nice shot there. And I was like, nice. Yeah. Like even at the time, I was like, that was a good shot, you know. And even when I was on top of him and I was like half guard and I got my head up nice and high, he was able to land like weird little elbows from up like the top. And I was like, it's pretty flexible shoulders. He's a good athlete. He's got like little trick, you know. He's difficult in ways that other guys aren't. But damn, I want to solve that puzzle. That's what I mean. It's like, it's genuinely interesting for me to come back and want to fucking go again at that and be like, cool, this is a harder riddle to solve. I'm excited to go and solve it.
I asked before about this like mental switch before the fight when you knew that you will face Machmuda Muradov, but now move to the technical one. Like, do you think like 12 days are too little to make those like technical adjustments for both of you? Like,
yeah, exactly. We're in the same boat. So if I'm going to complain about it, he has the right to complain too. You know, he didn't have time. Well, who knows? He was sparring with Spore and whatever, but I'm not going down that road again. Like,
he actually said that he was imitating you for Daniel. Do you think like it makes something like to get to know you better a few months back?
Yeah, it probably helps a bit, but like not in any significant way. You know, like who knows? Like, I can't change that. It's not on me to go like, oh, well, he was preparing for me in a different way. Well done. Fair play to him. He put the effort in, he did that, and he won. So, great. Well done. Like, from my point of view, it's like I'd love time to just go and really watch this guy, go and really see what he's good at, drill the fuck out of the things that he's like, drill the cure to the weapons that he has, and go in and perform like that then, and like make it smooth like the other fights. I would love to have that. So,
obviously, I'm very big fan of this vendetta, this story, this rematch story, because I think like is the highest possibility of like highest quality matchup in organization right now, and it was like we've all seen it how exciting the fight was, but some people on the internet like talking like Will Fleury should fight Lazar to death for heavyweight title, and Muradov should fight Yotko. And do you think that if you like go on the separate paths and then in a year or maybe 2 years you will come back, like the energy would be lost of the story?
Yeah, 2 years is definitely far too long. I think right now with Octagon 100 coming up and the fight being in Prague again, there's a massive momentum for this fight to happen again. And even the fact that like it's a very controversial fight. The way it all went was crazy. You look online, everyone really wants to see this fight again. I think it sells itself. It sells itself to like the very like the fans who really love a good fight, like who love high quality fighting, and it sells itself to casual fans as well, because it was like, oh, the guy nearly knocked him out, and then he knocked the guy back out, you know. And it's like, oh, who'll get who the next time? I think it works in a lot of ways, and I think doing it again in December makes a hell of a lot of sense. So from that point of view, and again, like, we haven't heard either of those guys screaming yet. And they're both going to say, oh, well, of course I want my title fight. And of course, they kind of do. But it is a bit like, have you created a story like this where everybody's waiting to see the thing? Not particularly. Me and Todd have had a great fight the first fight. He's a great fighter. I would definitely give him that rematch if he wants and waits and does whatever. But that could happen in March. You know? I think December, Octagon 100, headline me versus Mac. That's a fight everybody fucking wants. I don't see why we don't go there. Opportunity kind of happens in moments. We have an amazing moment now to go and do this. And like, look, man, if I wanted to not be this guy, it'd be so much easier to go and fight other dudes. You know, he's the hardest fight. That's the fight I want. So like, if he's real and he wants this too, hell, we're going to give the fight. Like, you know, it's like the Holster and Cervinho thing. I'm delighted those two guys are mad to go and do it and to prove themselves. Because that's what makes amazing moments happen. That's what makes sport incredible. And in fighting, it doesn't have to be sport sometimes. You look at this Voskrone crap and it's like, well, it's celebrity shit, basically. It's not really sport. And a lot of guys want to insulate themselves from reality and want to insulate themselves from like danger. I don't. I want greatness, man. I want to be the absolute fucking best guy that was ever here. And for that to be like, yeah, fuck Fleury, man, that guy's incredible. That's what I'm out here to do. If you don't want that, if Octagon aren't like willing to kind of facilitate that, then it's like, lads, what are we really actually doing here? And I think we have both of us, both myself, Muradov and Octagon, all partners involved in this thing, have the opportunity to make some incredible, incredible moments now.
When you walk out in 20 card, in this 20 tournament, and there was like a huge scream from the crowd, like huge reaction for both of you and Mach. You both had the same. It felt like the fans were cheering for a good fight.
Yeah,
but
it was an incredible atmosphere.
To hear that reception, and not only now, but every time we walk Prague, when it stops you, I take your photos. Do you feel like you've left mark here in Czech Republic, and how do you feel about that? Because you don't get this in Ireland.
Yeah, it's genuinely bizarre to me that people care this much about my career. Because for 15 years it's just been me caring, you know. And I'm delighted with that. It's beautiful. And the fact that I feel like the people here know me, especially the Czech fans, they really get who I am. And they see what I'm trying to do. Like, you know, they've watched my career coming up. They watched they watched me call everyone out, and they were like, oh, this guy, he's full of shit. And then they're like, oh, he's really real about this. And now, you know, they've been on this journey with me. And when people stop me up in the street, they're able to talk to me about my career. Like, they really fucking know me, a lot of people. It blows me away. And I've gotten so many messages over the last 3 days that are beautiful messages. And I've not had the emotional capacity to respond to many, you know, because sometimes it's just like, oh, it's fucking sad to get back into this, you know. And they're nice. It's really nice. It's just, I'll spend all day in tears if I do, like, you know. But it blows me away, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm really grateful that I've been given a platform to go and create something like this. But I'm also really fucking determined to keep doing this. And like, I didn't set out to inspire anyone else. I set out to be someone I was proud of. And if that's got a few people involved along the way, and a few people have, like, some of the stuff people have texted me about, like, you know, I'm their example to turn their life around and all that, amazing, class. That wasn't my intention. But like, if that's real, I'm fucking so proud of that. I'm doing this just to be the best fucking version of Will Fleury I can be. And I've been doing that, like, it's in, you know, I'm pretty fucking proud of what I've done. You know, it's been fucking pretty amazing. But I'm not dead. I have a lot of life to live yet. And I have a lot of, like, good capacity. Like, I know the way my mind is designed right now, I can go and do really, really special things. That hasn't changed. You know, no fucking defeat will ever change that. It's a temporary situation. I'm not dead, thank God. So I'm going to get back up and I'm going to go, okay, cool. That's the situation we dealt with. Let's learn. Let's get better. Let's come back and whoop some ass.
When you've been with Bellator, and maybe even before, it was like a few up, few downs. Mm-hmm. It was like so, like Will Fleury, good guy, good fighter, but not anything special. And after some fights, it was like a huge run, which we mentioned before. Like, what switched? Do you feel like this mentality you are talking about, this like design of your mind, came along the way, or you at any particular moment like said, this is how I want to imagine myself and I want to work with my mind?
I think I always had a good attitude towards fighting, even when I was originally, like, I was undefeated as an amateur. I was 4-0 as a pro when I got time with Bellator. And I went into this first fight with a lot of hype behind me. I was getting a lot of write-ups in the American journals. And I saw my opponent. He was 6-0 with 6 knockouts. And I watched him fight before me. You know, I watched all his other fights. I was like, I will destroy this guy. And I was guilty of being complacent in that moment. And that's the one time I feel like I've let myself down mentally. The other times were physical, where it was like, I wasn't a good enough fighter. But mentally, I always felt like I'm giving this everything I can and I'm being true to who I am. And who I am has improved over those, like as in my abilities as a fighter have increased because I've sought out the best knowledge. I've stayed open-minded. Maybe that's the one thing that I've done that I've felt like that's why I'm progressing so much more at an older age. I'm genuinely really eager to learn. You know, there's no thing in me that thinks, oh, I'm amazing at this, shut up. When somebody talks, I'll listen. And I'll like look for the information within that and see what I can get from it. Everybody's got something valuable in them. You know, and like, if you see things as opportunity, they are opportunities. If you see them as, I know better than this guy, well, why is he talking to me? Like, no, like, have an open-minded attitude and be willing to learn all the time. And like, I think because I've increased my skill set massively. Even in the last 2 years, I feel like that was the idea behind this 4 fight, was to show, even since I've come to Octagon, look how much better I've gotten. And I feel like I'll continue to do that. Obviously, age is real. That's why when you say 2 years to the Muradov rematch, I'm like, man, he's 36, I'm 37. Why would we wait 2 years to do this again? It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's a window to do this thing. And I'm going to make the absolute most of my window. And I think so far I've done pretty fucking well. You know, it hasn't exactly been like normal or like, oh, he's a pretty good fighter. It's like, no, I've been fucking incredible. You know, go back, watch them fights. There's a lot of incredible moments where I've shown like real skill, like real technique, real heart. Like, I've put it all on the line and I want to keep doing that. And I'm so determined to just make this thing as like beautiful and as long lasting as possible. And yeah, like, just give me the opportunity. I'll be there doing it.
And do you feel like the time is pressuring you?
No, yeah, like I don't, look, age is real. Biology, like, it only goes one way, you know. We can all observe life. Your grandparents aren't what they used to be, you know. So I don't feel like I'm getting away from it. It's more, it hasn't hit me yet. I know I've still got a couple of good years in me and I want to make the absolute most of those years, but it's not going to be forever. It can't be. So I acknowledge what this reality is, but so far, this mind is overcoming any, like, look, I'm probably not recovering the same way I was when I was 33, 34, or even like when I was 28. It's different now. But can I go in and beat the guy I was when I was 28? Yeah, I'd beat the piss out of me as 28. I'd beat the piss out of me at 33. So I'm better now than I was then in terms of like showing up on fight night and being that guy. I think that will only get better and better. But physically, will the body be able to keep that up? Time will tell. But I'm determined to do as much as I can until then.
One thing we haven't talked about is, like you said, like, if I influence the people around me, like fans and stuff, it's good, not intentional. But when you look at your family and your friends, the ones you brought with you on the Stvanice, they were like your best pals there, bringing your belt, having it on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, what was their reaction, and how did they see you? Like, because they maybe know you as a part of family, of a friend, but do they know you as a champion? Do they recognize you as champion? And how this experience was with them and for them?
My identity has never been as though I'm Will, I'm a champion. I'm Will, I'm the guy who just does his best. I want my life to be as good as possible, and I want it to be as good as possible for all those people around me. I think everybody knows that, everybody close to me. And they got, like, I just wanted to make them proud. And that's what I really like. Look, you know, I get that I'm doing things that are beyond the ordinary, right? But there is this level of responsibility in, like, I'm going to take that challenge on and I'm going to be that guy. And I'm going to make this better for all of us. And I did fail at that on Saturday. And I feel that maybe more than anything else. It's like I have a job to pull everyone up with me. And I failed at that job. And that doesn't go away. But again, I'm not dead. I can come back and inspire. I can come back and pull everyone again. And I can create something. And I've managed to do that a couple of times in my life, and it's been really special. And like, I thought I could fix my whole life by being an amazing fighter, and it's like, nah, even when I'm a double champ and doing all this stuff, you know, everyone still has their problems, and you know, it's like, it's not what you think it is, but at the same time, it is beautiful. And I like the two guys who were holding the belts, my friends Kevin and Denny, like, I could see how gutted they were afterwards, but they're still so positive. And they're like, man, that was amazing. You know, you should have seen you backstage. You're the scariest motherfucker I've ever seen. You know, like, it's nice. It's really nice. But like, they're like, no matter what, we'll always be there. And it's like, cool. But trust me, I'm going to get this one back for you. That's not just for them, it's for me, obviously, as well. But like, yeah, those moments, that's kind of what makes it so raw, so emotional, so like visceral. Like, you can't get away from it. It's there. I looked in their eyes after I lost, and I saw that pain that they're feeling for me. But it's like, fuck, I'm feeling your pain too. Like, it's just, that's life. That's the way this thing is. And like, aren't we lucky to get those moments in a really weird, fucked up way? Isn't that like, this painting has a lot of different colors in it, you know, and we're lucky that it's not just some bland grey sheet, you know.
I believe when you are in that position, like when you are in championship fight, when you have all those people behind you, not only your friends and family, and the thousands of fans around the world, like around Europe especially, like, it means you've already created something. So like, why not be proud of yourself? Like,
I am.
You really should be.
I really am. Like, thank you. I get it. Like, and look, I'm not going to jump off a cliff or anything. Like, don't worry. No, I like, even look at where I was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Look at where I am. I'm incredibly proud of that. But I know there's an opportunity to do more. And it's the chasing more is fun. The chasing more gives me purpose. And I've made it pretty obvious that I'm damn good at chasing the thing. So give me throw the ball out there. Say, okay, it's Muradov in December. Cool. I'm running after the ball. I'm getting it. You know? And like, anybody who gets in my way, I'm going to like tear them apart, you know? That's what this thing is. And it's beautiful. It's really fun. It's like, I'm really glad that I'm in this position where I can do this. But I need the purpose of it. I need the fight. I need the goal. So like, once I get that goal, like, I feel like it should be pretty obvious that that's the fight to make.
And how is it now when you are not alone on the path? You got Lucy, who is fighter as well, who is in championship fights. After on time, she was in the UFC 2 times. She knows the rough parts of the journey, and now you are get a partner. You can go, and even you both lost, so you can like pick yourself at the same time, like to be a supporter for one for another.
Yeah, in a way, like, if we lose individually, we can support each other. When we lose together, it's like, whoa, this is tricky. Because like, I'm so invested in what she's doing as well. You know, it means like, and I think maybe in some ways her position is harder than my position right now. Because there's a less obvious pathway to what's next. And even the fact that her hand is so badly broken, like, she got the surgery 2 days after, like less than 2 days after the fight. So she's lucky in that sense. She's already on the road to recovery. But it is like, okay, you're going to have this period of like rehabilitation, then recovery, then coming back. And it's a long road ahead of her. And there's no obvious next step. And that's a really tricky place to be for her. But I'm here. I'm like, we're going to get through it. We are. And like, she's positive. She's got a strong mind. She's shown that already. I've no doubt that she'll come back through this and be better again. And she's so determined to that as well, which is amazing to watch. You know, it inspires me in a way. And I think, yeah, there's that. There's like the fact that like, oh, it hurts a lot more because we're both in this boat now and it happened together like this. You know, like I had this image of like the two of us holding the belts in the cage together, and I was visualizing that a lot before this weekend. And it's like, well, that didn't happen. And it hurts a lot because of that. It's like, you know, in some ways it's kind of like a kid that was never born, that you're grieving this thing. It's like, well, it never did exist, but it's like, it still hurts a lot that it doesn't. But there's a future. That's the most important thing. And it's like, okay, let's get better. Let's learn from that. What happened? What could we do better? What can we improve on? And there's lots to improve on. And that's the path, that's the journey, that's what makes it exciting. It is just like, all right, make yourself accountable, take responsibility, and now let's look at what can change. And there's so much that can change. There's so much you can improve on. There's so much out there. Like even in one way, I'm saying it's a less obvious pathway. And that's just because in women's fighting, there are less options overall. But like, it also means that if one girl falls out, it's like, well, you're right back at the division. You know, it's not inconceivable. Her next fight could be a title fight if something happens. You know what I mean? So I'm telling her like, hey, you just don't know the way things are going to go now. And if you come back and you can knock somebody out, it's like, holy shit, it's a totally different narrative quickly, you know, in a very short space of time. You kind of have to have a little bit of hope in some of these situations. You know, when I signed with Octagon, I talked about like, oh, I'm going to get the Carlos fight, I'm going to do all of this. That road wasn't obvious at that point. You know, Carlos was kind of looking like it was like just the Attila fight he was preparing for. It didn't really look like there was anything. And it all did happen. And I feel very grateful for that. There was a little bit of luck in that situation as well. But I was ready to take the opportunity. I was ready for luck to happen. And I think that's where she needs to be. She needs to be ready to get a bit lucky. And as long as you're ready, hey, when it comes, you'll do it.
Now, time for holiday. And
maybe, yeah.
as you mentioned, like, the future is bright. And the future is exciting. It truly is. It's a thrilling journey you do both have. So, thank you for the time, Will.
Cheers, Marian. Thanks, man. Appreciate the interview.
Děkujeme za váš čas, děkujeme za shlédnutí. Odebírejte podcast Fight a podporujte. Mějte se.